you say, and Shaykh Efendi says that ego is always changing the way that it comes to us. So how does the ego adapt and change its approach to us in response to how the Shaykh is giving training or giving direction?
Blind spots. Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Where you can't see. That's a bigger challenge. Because what people don't see, they don't think it's there. What the Shaykh is saying is there. They say, I don't see it. We say that's why it's called a blind spot. You know your car, you know the road, you know the mirror, you know what it looks like. You've seen it years, all your life maybe. But there are still blind spots. Huh? What about parts of yourself that you've never seen before? It's not a blind spot, you don't even know that it is there. What if we shine a flashlight on it? That's why sometimes when it becomes like that, you become very anxious, very agitated. And even that is okay, because it is something that you are not familiar with. But what if it is something that you're familiar with? That our Shaykh is teaching us over and over again, but we are still not understanding what it is. If you don't understand, then one day they will make you to understand in a way that is undeniable. But it may be too late, and it may be very painful. The smack will come very hard. Even then, there is still a mercy. Because for the smack not to happen at all, it means that Allah doesn't love you at all. So, you're saying the ego is going to change. It's going to hide somewhere else. Firstly, it's on the tongue. Later, it's going to hide behind the eyes. You say, be careful. Later, it's going to hide inside your heart. And you're going to say, no, there's nothing in there except for Allah. Then you're going to be in big trouble. So, but what if it is something that has been there for some time and you are not being strong enough to try to get rid of it? However it is, to get rid of it or to tame it or to have control over it. This is the whole point. It is to have control. It is not to say you are completely going to be free from it, but to have control. Once you have control over it, it's no longer destroying you. You are directing it, and if you're directing it to be in the way of haqq, even those wrong characteristics that you have, you are controlling it, you are pulling it, it will walk in the way of haqq and it will serve you. So the whole point is to control it. You watch yourself. 1 year is like this. Next year it must be smaller. Next year it must be smaller. It must be smaller. It must be small. You must go to the root cause of it. That's how things get small. Huh? To the root of it. You see a huge tree. It may have a huge root, but there's always a primary root. You cut off that primary root, everything dies. So this is not just recognizing that there is a problem, a big problem, but our Shaykh Efendi is not telling us there are 4,000 characteristics. He's saying there are 4. Everything comes down to this or this or this or this. If you are still hiding, tricking, lazy, this, that, you are not identifying what it is, it becomes something very, very big instead of something that is basic, then it's very difficult for you to get rid of it. Very difficult. Because you say, no, 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 this is because of this, and this is because of this, and it's because of this, and everything is intertwined, everything is so complicated. It's not. 4 characteristics. And one is pretty distinct from the other. One is very different from the other one. So you by yourself, especially those who have been with us for some time, if you're not understanding what is the main root of it, and there is a cure for everything. There is a cure, there is a medicine for proudness. There is. For stubbornness, there is. For anger, there is. What's the other one? Jealousy, envy, there is. And a lot of the times, it is not about you. It is not, you don't deal with it from yourself. You understand? You deal with it outside to a person. For example, anger. It's not just you saying, I mustn't be angry, I mustn't be angry. But it's about you now being patient to someone who's angry at you. This is how you're going to balance things. Arrogant now. It's not just being humble, Anyone can think they're humble, but being humble to someone else, to something else that is outside of you. You can say, okay, I'm proud, clean the toilet. Okay, that's good. But there can be a proudness in that too. What's more difficult in that is to deal with proud people and to be humble when you yourself, you are proud. What do you do with jealousy? You're jealous of someone. You always want to be winning. Then you lose. Let the person to win. Support those ones. You don't push yourself forward. So, if you bring it small, bring it not small, bring it to its root cause, and you address the root cause, you will see some changes. If you're not looking at the root cause of it and attacking the root cause, then the tree is still healthy. And it will keep on. Every year, it will bring out new branches. Ego, every year, is going to bring out new things, new styles, new whisperings, new doubts. But all comes to the same when it comes to the main root that is there. So it is control. It is to say, okay, it's coming, sit over there. I know it's coming, but sit over there. I'm not going to. Now you sit over here, don't like that. Make it small. Put your rope around it, and when you decide now to be active in the way of Allah, then you're going to take it out from yourself. You're not going to, it's not just an internal exercise. How you say, meditation, tafakkur, is not just an internal exercise that you just sit and you think, yeah, I did this wrong, I did this right, I did this, and then that's it. That is only the first step. That is called the niyat. That is your intention. The action, it is very important in Islam too. If it is not so important, then why we are praying? You can just intend to pray. No one is 1400 years has said, well, I made the intention, Allah accept my intention, I don't have to pray. Or whoever says, fasting in Ramadan, I made the intention, but I'm not going to fast. Well, it's according to sincerity of my intention, right? Or going to the Hajj or Zakat, you still have to do it. So you're making the tafakkur, you're understanding it. Now you get up and you do something about it. You don't just think. This is not just something that it's so easy to think and make it so intellectual or make it so emotional or make it so psychological. It's so easy. But when you have to practice it, now this is the difficult part. No prophet, as far as I'm trying to remember the knowledge that is given to me, no prophet. What marks a prophet? A prophet has people who are following, yes? No prophet ever sits on top of a mountain alone and just write books or give advice, and he is not dealing with his ummah. Every prophet has an ummah, even if it is small. That means now, even those ones who are the highest and most beloved ones to Allah, they have to come down to the level of the people and to take care of them. He cannot take care of them. It is not intellectual. He has to take care of them. And he cannot take care of them if he doesn't know how they feel. You cannot give a medicine if you don't know what is hurting them. And it is in the divine way that you have those ones who are leading, they have to hurt and they have to feel more for them to give more. So, don't get stuck. Come out. Don't get stuck. Sometimes you get so stuck in your head, so many things are coming, it's so real. Same conversation over and over again. But once you try to say it, it sounds very stupid. Then you know, oh, Shaitan just making this big illusion in my head, I think it's real. Then, when you are put in a situation to practice it, then you understand how real it is also. It gets bigger, it gets smaller. So many times, it gets smaller. Because the real life issues that you're going to deal with, all that theory that you're feeling, it cannot fit. It cannot. One of the reasons why they say marriage is have your faith is you don't have the luxury now to just think about religion. Now you have to live your religion. You don't have the luxury now to just have feelings or understanding. No matter how much of a scholar or a saint a man thinks he is, now he has to deal with a wife. Now, see how much saint or scholar you are. Or children, which means what? Other people, they are always going to test you. They're always going to reflect on what you are. You cannot escape from them. More you escape from them, more your religion is going to become false. Because prophets came to teach us our religion, and they taught us how to live. Not just teaching us the religion, but teaching us how to live. So now there is no disconnect between your religion and your faith and how you live. In fact, if you believe something and you live something else, it's called hypocrisy. So, it's going to take different forms. Of course it is going to. But one thing we should not have is doubt. You can feel weak, yes. You can feel dirty, yes. You make mistakes, yes. But never doubt the one who's leading you. Even if that one has a squash nose, a squash face, even if meaning that one doesn't fit into your idea. What if that one is wrong? You will know, you'll find the right one. Allah will send someone to you, inshallah. This is very important. Once you find a doubt that is there, then another one is going to open, another one is going to open, another one is going to open. Shaitan is saying, well, look at this one, look at this, look at this, look at this, look at this. Before you know it, the people are going to surround you who are supporting that. And that time you're going to be caught in so many different ways. It's very hard for you to come out from. So, sohbat is important. Association is important. To be with people, that is important. You cannot know what your religion is if you're not with people. May Allah always keep us in the best company, inshallah.
Ameen.
One of the biggest prayers is that, keep us in the company, yes? Of who? The prophets, the salihin, the awliya, in the company. Only Allah is alone. So when you're dealing with these things, if you find yourself alone, it's a first step. Or you feel lonely, that's the first step that shaitan got you. You understand? And everyone, tell me people who are angry or depressed or this and that, tell me they don't feel alone. Tell me they are. No, they always feel alone. Because that was, you may say, the first punishment of shaitan. He became alone. Everyone, everything in creation is according to the will of Allah. And he's saying no. He became alone. Don't confuse this with what Shaykh Efendi is saying, that man is alone. You are unique in your creation, and you're unique in your way back to Allah and what you must discover. Everyone is unique. Those who are, every prophet, every believer is unique, but they're all in the Siratul Mustaqim. A way, one way. Those who are not in the Siratul Mustaqim, they become alone, not in the way of Siratul Mustaqim. So, you remove yourself, you'll feel that specialness, that nobody understands you, nobody can feel what you're feeling. You start to feel your own uniqueness, but in a shaitanic way. Then, pull yourself out before it gets too late. Because you're not dealing with reality, you're dealing with luxury. If the one who has so much responsibilities, the one who has to take care of this or that, or people especially, he does not even give himself that luxury of behaving that way. Or maybe 1 day, 2 days, but after that he says, I don't have time for this. Why? Because there are people who need me. Because I need to give that energy out to people who are in need, not just to myself. Allah not make us to fool ourselves and to make our egos to fool us, inshallah. Wa min Allahu tawfiq. Al-Fatiha. Amen.